I'm just being honest. What is so wrong about a man wanting you to add value to his life instead of suck him dry? What is so wrong with that? Why are there so many women out here right now saying, I bring the table to the table? Can you help anything? Can this man ask you for $1,000? If he lost his job right now, or all of the income that this person has, could you provide for the whole family? That's what they mean. They mean that if I am taking care of you and you can't bring anything to the table, you're going to run me dry. Is it that insulting for someone to ask you to be able to provide back, to be able to reciprocate? What's wrong with that? Society got you broke, bum ass, thinking that somebody's supposed to just take care of you all day. Is you think just financial? Can you calm down when this man is talking? Can you listen? Can you hear him out? Can you not play emotional games? Can you check on him and ask him if he's okay? Do you ask your man if he's happy? Do you not attend to children? Do you know how to cook? Do you know how to add value to a house if a man buys it? Can you garden? Y'all be wanting niggas to build houses, but you can't even provide food. They building a house. Can you garden in the back? Where's the table? What do you bring to the table? How are you going to make this man better? Or are you going to tear him down while he provides for you and makes you better? Everybody is narcissistic and thinks that somebody has to do something to benefit them, but they don't have to do it in return. And that's what a lot of women, y'all don't get that?
She said, y'all don't get that? She know what it is. She probably hear it all the time. We need more women like this, really, to kind of just, show a mirror and just say, look, this is what's going down. This is what y'all saying. And a lot of women talking points just don't add up. Just don't add up. And I think, when you ask the question, it's probably rhetorical. At the end of the day, they just don't really want to listen and hear and understand. It's just really, they're not listening. They're listening to argue. They're listening to see how they can get their point across. And if they can't get their point across, if they can't shame or guilt, they're just going to flat out deny they understand what you're talking about. And by now, it's so simple. It's a simple concept to understand. It's much deeper than just the question. It's more like a lot of women just don't want to be held accountable. So if you ask them what they bring to the table, by them saying they're the table, right? They're the prize. They come with built-in value. You got to have a duty mindset when it comes to any relationship. You got a part to play in it. This a teamwork for a reason. You play your part, and at the end of the day, a woman feels like, okay, well, I don't have to really gauge that. I don't have to gauge my value. I am the value. And that's just not going to cut it nowadays, man. It's just not going to cut it. I think guys are just raising their standards, raising what they're asking as well. Women got to understand everything affects everything. So, you hear a lot of women saying, okay, I'm going to up my requirements. I'm going to look for better. Well, hey, guys are doing the same thing. Men are doing the same thing. Saying, you know what, I learned from my past mistakes. I'm going to avoid the pitfalls. I'm going to avoid poison pills. And I'm just going to pick the right candidates as I can. But back on the bring to the table front, it's an ego thing when it comes to it too, because women are just so used to being chased and so used to running the leverage in that way, to where by the time you really get to holding a woman accountable, they done ran off a whole checklist on what a man should do. There has to be a basic structure and a basic understanding of what a man is looking for and what a man is expecting. That got to be discussed. So how does a man know whether you are a good person to be with or not? Whether you're a person valuable enough to be on his level? I hear a lot of women, especially women who make a good income, right? They got a whole checklist of, hey, I want to make sure that he's on my level. Well, it's the same thing. A man want to make sure that you're fit to be in a relationship. You're not just doing things on emotion. You have a duty mindset. You're willing to play the game. You're willing to play your part. And it's not much tussling and getting you to play your position, whatever that is. Again, every household is different. How do you really convey what your standards are and what you're looking for? I think the earlier the better. Once you determine, okay, you're interested and you're attracted to each other, and how it's like, okay, well, what are you looking for in life? What's your expectations? What's your upbringing like? Are you used to managing your money and saving your money, or are you used to investing, or are you used to having a career, or what's your path? And A lot of people, they just ignore those things and wonder why things don't work. People do play chameleon, and they gonna say and do whatever to get time with you. Ultimately, we got to get better. Both men and women, we got to get better at choosing our partners. If you're a salesman and you sell cars, for example, at some point you're gonna know who's for real, who come through that door. You're gonna realize who's a real buyer, and you're gonna realize who's just pulling your chain, who's wasting your time.
Women are so offended when men ask, what do you bring to the table? I'm just being honest. What is so wrong about a man wanting you to add value to his life instead of suck him dry? What is so wrong with that?
What is wrong with a man asking you this question? I mean, tell me in the comments, ladies. Like, what is the issue? I want to get down to the nitty gritty to this, because to me, it seems like a real logical question. It seems like a question that one would ask, right? Like, part of getting in a relationship with anybody, you're investing time, you're investing energy, you're investing in your future. When you're saying, okay, I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, you're investing in that person. When you're going and you're visiting with an investor, usually you have what's called a proposal. And in that proposal, you're going to show what you're doing for the investor, their return on their dollars, their return on their investment. And you're showing your investor, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to get the return. It's going to be in such and such amount of time. Either way, you're sharing a mutual agreement so that, you both know what to expect going forward. That's really what that question is about. I know it's not romantic. I know it's not something that is a fairy tale. You want a guy to put a lot of things on his back. I think a lot of men don't have a problem with that. Ultimately, they want to come back to a woman that's appreciative and playing their part and understanding their role and duty. And they're going to go and grab it with enthusiasm and knowing that that's what it is. That's what it takes to really build something special. I think that's the type of women that guys are willing to run through a wall for and really go through the long haul with. It's very rare that the person comes ready, and you have to communicate what you need and want. That's all part of it. I hear a lot of women say, I'm not going to teach a man nothing. I hear a lot of women say that a man should know right away what to do. He should read your mind. If you're supposed to be the more mature half, ready for relationships and more suitable for relationships than men, I don't really see it. I see someone who wants a relationship. I see a lot of women who want a relationship for whatever reason, whether it's to say that they're in a relationship or to brag to their friends or to reach a goal that they had since they were a kid, to be married. But yeah, it comes with a sacrifice on both ends, on both sides. You got to constantly stay in tune over the long haul in the marriage to make sure that you're giving each other what each other needs.
Why are there so many women out here right now saying, I bring the table to the table? Can you help anything? Can this man ask you for $1,000? If he lost his job right now, or all of the income that this person has, could you provide for the whole family? That's what they mean. They mean that if I am taking care of you and you can't bring anything to the table, you're going to run me dry.
And I mean, that's such a thing as some people just, as soon as you go through any type of situation, a bad flip, go through a bad run, or someone gets sick, or some kind of issue arise, maybe someone gets arrested, someone gets sick, go through a little bit of depression or something like that. You thought you had someone by your side, someone had your back. Nah, they gone. They off cheating or not being available to you. They're not there to support you. And they probably off looking for somebody else, looking for an alternative way. And you done poured a lot of your hard work into this person and supporting them and being there for them. And they took that and ran off. That happens. And so again, a lot of times if you can't even answer a question, what does it say about you when something really hits the fan? When you really got to deal with a death in the family, or, just whatever, right? You're dealing with something at work and now you got to switch jobs and the transition is taking a certain time, and now all of a sudden you make it a little less, or, the plans that you had before at the beginning of the year, now you can't go do. Now you got to change the trip plans. Does the woman or the wife or the girlfriend or do they support you and say, you know what, we're going to get through this? We're going to figure out a way. We're going to figure out another way. Or do they nag you and remind you of your failures every day? Remind you of what you haven't done. Don't really look at their part in it. Don't really understand how they can enhance the situation. They're always giving, instead of what can they could do to serve, make sure that the goals are being met. I can't stand someone who's just not willing to do the work, especially if they want and expect and have all expectations for you. No, sir. No, sir. It don't work like that. You get what you put in. I mean, and it seems like it's a hard concept to understand. I'm not sure what's so complicated about it. But yeah, man, it's really about just saying, okay, I'm going to bring value to my partner. That's really that simple. And this is how I'm going to bring value to my partner. What skills do you bring to the relationship? Problem solving skills, conflict management skills. You want somebody to go to bat for you, support you, do it for the long haul, day in and day out. You should also reciprocate that and make that to where, okay, you're doing the same thing for your man. It's just about making it work, baby. Showing improvement, baby. It's about execution, baby. I think a lot of women, they just kind of want to work at their own pace and just do things they feel like doing. Someone coming in and laying down a foundation or a certain way to operate, a certain way to grow, a certain way to do things, is foreign to a lot of these women, or they see it as control. I think especially any type of alpha male or someone who's a strong leader is going to come in with ways of living. He's going to come in with principles. He's going to come in with ways to operate. And a lot of these women say that they want these type of men, but truth be told, I don't think they're really ready for that. They're not really ready to be held to a certain level of accountability that they're gonna have to stick to.
Y'all be wanting niggas to build houses, but you can't even provide food. They building a house. Can you garden in the back? Where's the table? What do you bring to the table? How are you gonna make this man better? Or are you gonna tear him down while he provides for you and makes you better?
Again, don't be afraid to answer the question, ladies. Don't be afraid. A lot of ladies talking about intimidation. I think y'all intimidated by answering the question, because you're gonna have to really, show and prove and really step your game up. Now I know there's a lot of women out there. Again, if it don't apply, let it fly. I know there's a lot of women out there too that take care of their thing. I got more than a few homegirls that doing their thing. You know what I mean? They quality women. And they tell me all the time, like even their girlfriends be tripping. You know what I'm saying? At questions like this, just being held accountable. And you need more women, OGs out here, man, to be able to really put it to the younger women, especially. Because a lot of them, and we're gonna talk about that too, they don't really want to tell the young women some of the things they might have learned, from when they were younger, right? Because they look and see them as competition. A lot of older women, when I say older, I say upper 30s, right? When you start to get into that level, lower 40s up, right? To your 50s and 60s. But a lot of women, especially in that upper 30s, and you start to get in your 40s, they looking at younger women like competition. So they don't really want to break it down to these women, right? And say, hey, this is what I learned. You tripping. Because it seems like people just jumping off the same bridge and then complaining about the same things. So let me know, ladies. Let me know what y'all think, man. Fellas, we just got to choose wisely as well. Obviously, once you notice you're a quality man, you can't be out here just, you're not serving, your wife or your girl well. You got to step your game up as well. You know what I'm saying? As men, we got to make sure once we of quality, we know we just got to choose right. We got to choose better. That's part of it. Going where you were loved and not just tolerated. Going where you were loved and not just tolerated. I see so many guys, they just tolerate it. But yeah, let me know what y'all think, man. I'm going to get on out of here. Man, I really appreciate you guys' support, man. Like, really. Hit that like button hard now. You know what I'm saying? Bang on it. Bang on that like button. Until next time, we out.